Nunu had so many red flags in the movie ATL that it was ridiculous. From nobody knowing where she went to school to the mystique around her real name. During this video, I'll be sharing Nunu's top 5 red flags during the movie ATL. And the last one says a lot about her commitment to scamming the people closest to her. You were in high school once. Imagine not knowing where the hell somebody went to school, but you were always kicking it with them. Makes no sense. But somehow this didn't bother T.I.'s character Rashad at all. Dude was dating someone without knowing their real name. Maybe I could give him a pass if he had one of these pieces of information. But without either, the man might as well have been dating an undercover FBI agent. I mean, he could have asked the twins what Nunu's real name actually was after hanging out with them. Oh wait, they didn't know her name either. Y'all, this storyline took place in 2006. Facebook was starting to take over the world. So she must have been faking her identity online as well, because it couldn't have been hard to find her name, Aaron Gardner, on the platform. I mean, her dad was supposed to be one of the wealthiest men in Atlanta. Nunu was the OG catfish. Before catfishing was a thing, there was Nunu. Now some of y'all are probably saying that this catfish is a catfish of your dreams. I mean, but that's not the point, man. The entire movie, Rashad is crying about how poor he is and how bad he has it, only to find out that he could have solved all of his problems by asking Nunu to hold a few thou. Shit, she may have even let him drive the Beamer. Boom, problem solved. But you know T.I. wouldn't have accepted the handout. He'd much rather antagonize the local drug kingpin big boy and get his brother shot again. The second red flag was that Aaron was a stalker. Think about it. Wherever Rashad was at, Nunu magically popped up. The man couldn't eat lunch without Nunu showing up. Saturday kickbacks at the pool? Yep, there goes Nunu. There was one scene in the movie where Nunu spends an hour searching for Rashad at a house party and purposely bumps into him just as he walks through the door and then does the old "look who it is" routine. And you know it had to be hard to keep tabs on Rashad, considering she had to take an hour-and-a-half bus ride just to kick it with him. For example, she had to make every trip worth the bus fare, so she asked questions like, "Y'all going to Big Booty Judy's party?" She asked everybody, but we know that she was only worried about one person. She had a few tricks in her bag, and a lot of red flags as well. And secretly following Rashad around wasn't enough. She wanted to follow him around literally on the skating rink as well as a part of Rashad's skate team and replace Rashad's best friend Esquire. In what world does that make sense? They've been skating with each other for years and now they're supposed to switch it up for you? Like I said, a bona fide stalker. Throughout the entire movie, everyone is talking about how Nunu and the twins are notorious for stealing. This in and of itself is a red flag. But did you notice how Nunu was always wearing, well, new stuff? That is, everything she wore was customized with Nunu, the name of her ghetto alter ego. Now I don't know about you, but what jewelry store has custom gold jewelry laying around to be easily stolen? It just doesn't make sense. And know what? I DM'd Lauren London and she told me something that I didn't initially pick up in the movie. Nunu was giving the twins designer clothes and claiming that they were actually stolen to build her hood persona. I know you remember when the twins' mama picked them up yelling about stolen purses. The twins immediately looked at Nunu and told her their mom had found the Gucci bags. There was no way that Nunu was going to get in the car with their mom. She would have immediately seen through her bullshit story. And when you really think about it, Nunu was buying her friends. We didn't see her talk to anyone else during the movie. She was literally surrounded by a bunch of teenagers who seemed to have no idea who she was. That's definitely a red flag. And the twins were so broke that they were like, Nunu, Juju, Boo Boo, we don't care about the backstory. Just run me those bags. Did you notice that out of everyone in Rashad's crew that she only had a problem with Esquire? Dude was the only square, a yes ma'am, no ma'am kind of guy. Why would you single out this guy? I'll tell you why. Esquire reminded her of her dad, a man that realized that he doesn't want any part of Mechanicsville, Georgia. She thought hustling in reverse was cool. During the movie, multiple people on Rashad's crew tried to disrespectfully holler at her. But anytime Esquire would even look in her direction, you'd think he asked her if she danced at the Blue Flame. Nunu's parents were willing to pay her entire tuition at Princeton, while Esquire over here literally begging for college letters of recommendation during his job at the Good Old Boy Country Club. Nunu reminds me of every suburban kid who goes to an HBCU and lectures a guy from inner city Chicago on why they should choose Hampton University over Harvard. Stop it. She repeatedly tells Esquire that he is the worst person on the skate crew and tells Rashad to replace him every chance she gets. Maybe she should have tried to bribe him with the newest pair of Jordans. While Esquire refused to allow Mechanicsville to define him, Nunu was over here talking about, "I'm from Mechanicsville. Well, my dad is." Womp womp womp. Nunu goes so low that she threatens Esquire by saying that she'll tell her father where he's really from if he tells Rashad who she really is. Think about how problematic this is. This could potentially trap him in a cycle of poverty without the upward mobility of an Ivy League degree. But Nunu could care less. She doesn't want to lose her boyfriend until she goes to college in 2 weeks. Damn, ruin a man's life for 2 more weeks of a summer fling? That's cold-blooded, like Rick James would say. To Nunu, everyone in Mechanicsville is an NPC, and she can move them around like pawns on a chessboard. And for the 5th and final flag, who the hell takes a 1.5 hour bus ride when they have friends that are willing to pick them up or drive them home? For example, she waited an hour in Rashad's car after leaving Big Booty Judy's party. Ma'am, he could have been driven you home in 30 minutes. And her whole story about not trusting Rashad was hella suspect. You follow this man everywhere and clearly want to date him, but you don't trust him? Make it make sense. Not even her fake friends, the twins, knew where she lived. I guess people just don't ask questions when they're getting a steady supply of Gucci bags. Have you ever ridden the bus in Atlanta? I have, and that specific route is terrible. The traffic in ATL doesn't make it any better. And the MARTA rail is essentially useless. But hey, Nunu hates herself, so it makes public transportation bearable, I guess. I bet everyone at the skating rink would trade their bus pass for her Beamer. Nunu was afraid that people wouldn't like the real her. And she was right. They wouldn't like how self-absorbed she was. Not that she had more coins than most. Nunu was a red flag queen and was not to be trusted. So the next time you meet someone from Atlanta, make sure they're not like Nunu. And if you made it this far, please be sure to pop that like button like Big Boy did Rashad's little brother at the end of the movie. Thanks.